Welcome back once more on Yankees Hot Stove. As the Yankees drove toward the playoffs last season, several call-ups from the minor leagues helped the club get into the postseason. Rob Refsnyder was one of them, and the second baseman joins us now on the phone. And Rob, I want to flash back to September. How important was it for you to get the opportunities that you did, and how much confidence did it help build in you?
Yeah, it was truly kind of a whirlwind of an experience. Sitting on the bench and learning and kind of observing and then getting thrown in there. So it was, obviously it helped a lot, and it kind of helped me go into this offseason with some confidence, and I'm looking forward to next year for sure.
What kind of things did you learn last season? Because we know you get called up in the middle of July, you hit that big home run at Fenway Park, you end up getting sent back down, and you don't get another start at the major league level until late September. What did you learn about patience? What did you learn about perseverance?
You always have to stay ready. I think the veterans definitely helped me out with that whole process and kind of understanding that. You go in the cage and the training room, the weight room, and you see guys business and preparing every day, and I kind of just try to follow their lead, and I think that helped me put myself in a position where when Joe called my number against Sale that one day, I felt as prepared as I possibly could without playing, and I think I owe that to the veterans with Alex kind of helping me out with that, and Carlos watching those guys, Gardner, so. Really just having a process every day and have a program.
Rob, when you mention those guys, an Alex Rodriguez, a Carlos Beltran, a Brett Gardner, is someone in your situation just watching them and absorbing what they do, or do you ask questions, and is that the best way to learn?
I think you know me pretty well, Jack. I'm pretty quiet. I kind of just try to go about my business, but you definitely just watch and observe. Those guys have had, unbelievably great careers, and they're just getting started. It feels like with the year Alex had and Carlos and things like that. But I just try to observe and watch, and if I feel like they can tell when I have a question on my face or something like that, and they've been always gracious enough to strike up conversations and talk about the game and things like that. So, but I'm pretty quiet, and I usually just try to observe, and you learn a lot from just watching those guys, and it's been truly a blessing to be able to play the game next to them and learn from them for sure.
There's a lot of time between now and when spring training starts in February. A lot of things could change. But as you look forward to being in Tampa in the middle of February, do you feel you're a guy who can win that second base job?
I think you have to go into that whole mindset or that whole situation with that mindset. If not, then I think you're at a disadvantage. It's obviously a unique situation, going there and kind of battling for a job. But like I said, I got one of the best jobs in the world, so I'm looking for the opportunity. And it's like you said, it kind of feels far away, but it's going to be here before you know it. And I know guys are already training, and so it's exciting.
Now, how about a Rob Refsnyder off-season workout? What kind of things are you doing right now? Do you start to ramp up more as you get closer to spring training?
Definitely. I'm in Tampa right now, kind of training, and it's always nice. You build some relationships and some friendships, and it's going to start ramping up here soon, but I'm already kind of doing some things with the strength coaches here, and just building it up so it's not such a shock to a body once you start really getting after it. So it's today you just work out. I just worked out kind of early today, and then worked out with Mason in Tampa, trying to get faster, stronger, more explosive. So I worked out with Mason. So it's always nice working out with some of your teammates and building some some chemistry and camaraderie. So it's been good, and the weather in Tampa is beautiful. So it's definitely a good situation down here.
You stole a part of my next question with your answer. You said you're trying to get faster and more explosive. A lot of players are their own best critics or their worst critics, however you want to put it. When you evaluate yourself, what are some of the things you feel you need to get better at?
Hopefully I'm just kind of scratching the surface of the ball player I want to be. So I'm never really taking for granted what I have, which is pretty modest physical attributes. So I've always tried to, enhance that with training and things like that. So this season, just it's just going to be more reps. AC and I were working on some mechanical things at the end of the year, and Joe and I were working on that. So as important as strength and agility and things like that are, I think the most important thing is just going to get reps with the new mechanical things on offense and defense. So I'm looking forward to getting back on the field and things like that. But yeah, got some work to do for sure.
You mentioned AC. Of course, that's Alan Cockrell, who now is the batting coach. He was the assistant last year to Jeff Pentland. Can you describe some of those mechanical things that you guys are working on?
AC, I think it's just so difficult to get a hit and score runs now with the pitching. It's just incredible, especially in the back end of the bullpens. So AC and I are just kind of trying to focus on impacting the baseball. I think for the fans watching the postseason, with Murphy and the Mets and Long and things like that, I think those are the things they were focusing on. Just kind of focusing on pitching and drive. And that was the same thing with me at the end of the year. I think all year I kind of struggle with getting a hitter's count, and I would kind of compromise and swing at a pitcher's pitch instead of waiting for a ball I could do some damage with. And I think with this day and age, with how competitive and strong the pitching staffs are, I think you got to be patient enough to hopefully get a pitch you can hit extra base hit with, because I just think it's really hard to score runs, and I think when you're up there, you got to be looking to do some damage offensively.
So, Rob, you get to the major leagues last season, and you get number 64. So I have to ask you, is that a number that you now consider your number? Or in the future, are you thinking that you'll accomplish enough to maybe get something a little different than that number that sort of looks like an offensive lineman's number?
Well, obviously, anybody familiar with the Yankees know the history and their tradition and things like that. So, get a number, but yeah, like you said, hopefully I'll work myself in the conversation and have some success where hopefully it's not an offensive lineman number, right?
Hey, you got a couple of home runs with that number, so I don't mean to be critical. That number also got you that big home run in Fenway, so if I were you, I might stick with it. But I also wanted to ask you, it's Thanksgiving this week. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? How are you going to enjoy that?
I'm going to my fiance's. They're kind of in the Chicago area, so I'm going to spend some time with them, and I'm looking forward to it. I think growing up in Southern California, around the holidays, the seasons aren't as great as when you're in the Midwest and the East Coast and things like that. So I think it'll be a nice little change of pace. And then I'm doing Christmas in Southern California, so kind of how that goes once you're engaged and things like that. You got to start planning out the holiday season and things like that. But going to the Midwest, and super thankful and fortunate for this year. So I have a lot to be thankful for.
Well, Rob, we thank you that you gave us a few minutes. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the rest of the holiday season with your fiance and your families.
Appreciate it. You too, Jack.